Yo, what's going on, guys? Crispy Flakes here. Welcome to Extra Crispy. So it was just announced that the point guard of the Detroit Pistons, my favorite basketball team, Reggie Jackson, has agreed to a contract buyout, and he's going to be signing with the Los Angeles Clippers. So I know a lot of you guys are going to want my opinion on this, and quite honestly, I'm happy for both parties. I think it's the right move for the Detroit Pistons. It's so funny because, instantly, people were messaging me saying stuff like, oh, it's going to get better, Crispy, or, that's an L for the Pistons, Crispy, acting like Reggie Jackson was some top 5 point guard for this team for the past 5-6 years, whatever, however many years he played for the Pistons, stuff like that, man. Plain and simple, though, I'm okay with it. I've never had a great fandom toward Reggie Jackson. He was always just a guy on the team to me, and it's he had some pretty cool moments for us. Last year was definitely his best season. With as far as playing, I think he played all 82 games. This year was injured for the most part, and he's come back recently, and he was playing some pretty good basketball. The thing I love about the move though is that from the Pistons standpoint, like I said, we keep on selling away players that would lead us to mediocre victories. And what I mean by mediocre victories is that Reggie Jackson is going to be good for a few W's on the Pistons. So, for a team that needs to go in the total direction of rebuilding, that does not help the team at all. So, I think his contract was up after the season anyway. And it's from a trade standpoint, I'm sure he would have had some sort of trade value. It kind of is what it is, so maybe they should have done it before the trade deadline. But even with that, I don't think a team, once again, was going to give up a lot of assets for a guy that was going to be available via free agency. So, yeah, I do want to also talk a bit about it from the Los Angeles Clippers standpoint, guys. Let's pull up his stats real quick here. Move my bitch-ass head out of the way here, bro. Come all up in the way and everything. There we go. Okay, so this season for Detroit, started 10 games, only played 14. A lot of that's because of injuries, but I think he's pretty much fully healthy now. Averaged 15 points, 5 assists per game. So, yeah, I guess going back to his first, it wasn't really even his first season with, his first full season with Detroit, played 79 games. I guess that was probably his best season, 19.6 assists per game. And ever since then, been around a 15 point, 4 or 5 assist type of guy out there. I'm very curious what type of role he is going to play on the Clippers, because I actually think that it's a pretty decent fit. Of course, he is a guy that can play with the ball in his hands or kind of play off ball. From a playmaking standpoint, I was kind of always hoping that maybe Reggie Jackson could have became a better playmaker. A career average of 4 assists, 5 assists for a starting point guard, not really all that great, but in this era of basketball where you have a lot of the small forwards and stuff like that handling the basketball, I think it'll work out fine. In this case, he'll run the plays. He'll probably give you about, 25 minutes per game, kind of split time with Patrick Beverley, gives them a little bit of insurance with, Patrick Beverley also having some injury issues and stuff like that. But I don't think it's, It's a nice move for the Clippers. I think they're definitely getting themselves one hell of a player, a guy that's going to make them better. And, it just kind of furthers my prediction that the Clippers will probably win the NBA championship. Of course, you got the Lakers, you got the Bucks. So, it's just, we all got our predictions out there. Mine happens to be the Clippers. You can either disagree or you can agree with it. It's up to you. But, man, it should be interesting. They actually got 2 Pistons on the team now, man. They got Marcus Morris and they got Reggie Jackson. But, it will be kind of interesting to watch how he kind of fits in with that crew over there. Because the thing about Russell Westbrook is that he's never really been part of a really great team as a starting point guard. So going back to his OKC days, when he was a young boy, he did back up Russell Westbrook, but now he goes to a team that's hey, we're not settling for the 8th seed. We're not settling for anything like that. We're not trying to just get by. You got to play like a type of guy that is going to help us get better. If you don't, your ass is going to go on the bench, plain and simple. So, it's a very low risk thing for the Clippers now. With it being an expiring contract to buyout, what I'm freaking hoping the Pistons don't stretch it out over 3 seasons, buy him out. And it's okay, you now owe Reggie Jackson $5 million for the next 17 years. Cause we're just getting done doing that shit with damn Josh Smith, bro. We still paying Josh Smith $5 million a season. But just my quick thoughts about this. It's cool, I've accepted my fate as a Pistons fan. I've accepted that we are going into full-on rebuild. That's fine, man. I'd much rather have that than just be what we've been for the past 4 or 5 years, and that's just mediocre at best. Barely even mediocre. Even a little bit worse than mediocre, which just sucks overall. But yeah, man, that's all I got. Thank you all so much for watching. Peace out, my friends.